Thanks to Ubisoft for providing me access to the game. The very first Hoonigan Summit is here, and so I have a summit guide for you. Let's go! Alright, real quick before I get into it, quick shout out to Simgii for helping out with this one. He and I played this summit together and he helped tremendously with cuts and race paths. So shout out to him. Go sub to his channel, please. There's a link in the description. And small disclaimer, I recorded everything for this summit on the early access build that I had access to for season 2. And so if there are any changes in the final build, I will let you know by putting a pinned comment in the comment section. So just be aware of that. Check that comment section when you're done watching the video. All right, let's get into it. So the summit cars for this week and the summit bundles are the Ford Focus RS in Street 1, the Audi RS2 Avant, and the Mazda Cosmos Sport. All of those Street 1. Every single event this week is a Street 1 event, except for the Feats, of course. Additional vehicles that you are going to need is a Japanese Street 1 car. I would go with the Mazda RX-7. It's definitely better than the Cosmos Sport. You're going to need a slalom vehicle and a drag vehicle and an escape vehicle. So for the slalom vehicle, definitely just make sure you have score breaker. It doesn't really matter which class, as long as you have score breaker and skilled maxed out. For the dragster, obviously nitro chem will be recommended, but what's more important than that is that you have frenetic and pure as your affixes. And then for the escape vehicle, just use a hypercar of your choice, and obviously nitro chem will help you on that one with pure and extra pump. All right, the keys to this summit are shortcuts, and you thought I was going to say shortcuts again, but wide bodies. Every single car you have, you need to put a wide body on it. Street 1 is affected by wide bodies so much. Like, you have to put wide bodies on all of these cars, otherwise you just won't have the handling to take these tracks quickly. All right, let's get into the first event. It's called Honolulu Downtown Area, and this is using the Ford Focus RS. There's lots of cuts in this one, so pay attention. At 7%, cut left to line up the right cut as well. So there's a short left cut, then a right cut across the grass, and keep as much speed as you can. At 18%, pause it right here. You can cut this corner on the right, and just aim for the right of the checkpoint flag here. All right, play it through. And then you're going to do kind of the same thing at 22%. You'll cut the corner on the left. This one is actually deceiving. It's a tighter corner than it looks, so it is actually faster to cut that corner, go through the fences and the grass. And then the same thing happens at 26%. You're going to want to cut left across the grass and avoid all of the light posts if possible. At 35%, you can go between this stone wall right here and the tree on the left, and then you go across the grass for the optimal line. And then at 62%, this is a very simple corner cut. And lastly, remember to use NOS in the air for all the jumps on this course. It's pretty useful in Street 1. It will not only keep your speed in the air, but also increase it. All right, moving on to Airport Playground using the Ford Focus RS again. This one is maybe the toughest race of the entire summit. It's a lapped race, so as always, I will let you watch my full second lap, and then I'll be back for the next event. All right, next up is Town Field using the Audi RS2 Avant. This race is just Kyusha Spirit. There are 3 cuts that you need to do. At 15%, you're going to cut the grass on the left and try not to hit that one lonely pole when exiting. Then at 20%, you'll cut the grass again, and then again at 54%. But the major cut of this race, the one that's going to save you the most time, is actually going to happen at 70%. You can full send through both of these corners by cutting a little bit to the left here and then back to the right towards the next checkpoint and reset your car when you get there. All right, moving on to City Ground using the Audi RS2 Avant again. This one is just another lap race, so here is my full second lap. There is one reset, and pay attention to the corner cuts. They actually do save more time than you think on this one. Enjoy. All right, next up is Mountain Landscape using the Mazda RX-7. And for those of you who hate resets and shortcuts and any other cheesy tactics during races, this race is for you. It's got basically no insane cuts. There are a couple of little corner cuts at 20% and the other one at 60%, but the rest of the track relies heavily on your ability to use gutters when you turn. And so that is the end of my advice for this one. Just make sure you're hitting the gutters as much as you can. All right, moving on to the last race of the summit, and we saved the best for last. This one is called Beach Zone using the Mazda Cosmo. Now, if you liked that last one because it was just a race with no cuts or cheeses, you're going to hate this one. It is the most cuts I've ever seen in Motorfest. So let's get to them, starting with the first cut here at 0%. Cut to the right across the grass. Then at 14%, you can cut the corner on the left. And then again at 17%, you're going to cut the corner to the right. Now for the fun part. At 20%, you're going to cut left, go around this tree right here, and then try to go straight up this hill towards the water. Then when you get to the water, you're going to reset your car. It'll put you back up on the road and you're off again. Then again at 27%, you're going to cut left. And again, try to avoid all these trees. There's a lot of hazards on this particular cut, so just watch out for the big trees. Just keep trying it until you can run it without hitting a solid tree. Then at 32%, you can cut hard left after the wall, make your way down this mountain. It's key to stay right after these rocks right here to get back on the pavement. Then just after that at 36%, after this bridge, point your car in the direction of the next checkpoint, and once again, enjoy your off-roading in this Cosmo. It is not super easy at all, and you have to do it a lot in this race. Now, it is faster to cut the corners before and after this bridge at 48%, and the same thing at 74%. And there's not really any cuts in between those. So there you go. Cut the corner, entering it, and cut the corner exiting it. You'll definitely save some time. At 83%, you'll cut across the beach right here. Just make sure you stay out of the water. It will slow you down a lot. Your visual cue to make the cut is the last flag in this line of flags right here. And then finally at 91%, I learned you could just go straight across this patch of grass. That actually helps you hold more speed on the corner just before that. And after that, you're home free. It was absolutely insane trying to find all of these cuts for this race. And hopefully I didn't miss any, but there's just a ridiculous amount of off-road sections because the checkpoints in this race are just so far apart. All right, let's move on to the feats. So for the slalom, by now you should know that you need score breaker for all the slalom events. Use the class of car where you have that set bonus, as opposed to a faster car. A faster car is not going to help you if it doesn't have score breaker. Also, max out your skilled affix on your parts, and don't forget to max out skilled on your legend points as well. Now for this one, you actually get more points for going in the opposite direction from where you spawn. So let's move on to the speed trap. This one is actually pretty easy as well. You'll hit this one in the same direction as you spawn, so just back up and get a good long start, and don't forget to use rewind if you mess up. Drag cars are definitely the best here, and you're going to want Nitro Chemist with pure and frenetic if possible. And lastly, the escape. This path actually was given to me by Simgii, so once again shout out to him. Please go watch his insane summit scores and runs and sub to his channel. There is a link in the description. All right, I'll let the full escape run so that you can see the entire path, and then we can wrap it up. All right, here are my final summit scores. And for this summit, I was playing on an earlier access build, like I said at the beginning of the video, so I can't really compare my score to the real leaderboard that will happen tonight. But I will be doing this summit live on stream tonight, so if you want to come by and ask questions, I will be live, and hopefully I can answer anything that you've got for me. And if you have any questions that you can't make the stream for, just send me a DM. I read every single message that comes my way. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps, and I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.